There's going to be a special moment tonight when you tuck your kids in bed and you and your wife go over to the living room and you sit on the couch and you find that remote and you flip on SportsCenter and you're feeling great about life. And you look over under the tree and you see all those wonderful gifts that you've provided for your kids, and you know that this is going to bring so much joy to them in the morning. And your wife leans over. She says, you know, some of the gifts that Santa left this year came with some special instructions. And then she says 3 little words that ruin your evening. Some assembly required. Over the years, Stephanie and I have had the opportunity with our 3 kids, our son and 2 daughters, to put together a variety of toys. I've gone from a rocking horse to a tricycle to play kitchens to train tables to basketball goals, and it's just one of those things that's never really come natural to me. You know, I have to get geared up and lay the tools out and get my instructions out and try to make sense out of them, and Stephanie starts reading them to me, and I get a little frustrated. And after about 15 minutes, you just have to take a break and watch a little SportsCenter. And Stephanie doesn't seem to understand those half-hearted attempts at trying to put those presents together. But I have to tell you, I've found some instructions that are just totally crazy. I don't even understand them. I can barely phonetically even say them. Take this one, for example. Let's see if Devin's doing that over here. Take the decibar and connect it through the frontal assembly aperture to the pendant rod bracket flange of the left ratchet mount. Using Continental bolts and nut retainers as shown. Do I have a few of those pieces? What is a nut retainer? That one? Okay. All right. The as shown is a nice touch because after you've tried to phonetically say everything and you have no clue what you just read, they put as shown and put a little picture to show you that any idiot in 30 seconds or less should be able to put it together. As shown. You know, on top of that, if you do survive and you get through to the end, there's always that, what I call the time bomb at the end of the instructions. Any of y'all ever had the time bomb at the end of the instruction? And that's the part that just makes you want to take the whole thing apart and just put it back in its box and take it back to the store. Something like this. Warning, all shaft springs before connection to right drive slip coil unit must be rubbed counterclockwise with clear detergent or toy may self-destruct during second use. Just put it right back in the box and take it. That can't be good. And by the end of the experience, though, when I'm putting those presents together, all those pieces start coming together. And I can see what that's going to be, and that there's only a few steps left. And there's a moment, just a short, brief moment, where I say, now I understand what those instructions were saying. Remember this principle tonight when you're putting those toys together for your kids. Instructions are not really meant to be understood. You see, as we get more educated and sophisticated, I'm convinced that these toy retailers are meeting in a back room somewhere even today. And they're thinking up ways to be even more murky in the instructions that they give us. So I'm convinced that in the year 2025, I'll be visiting my son Garrison. On Christmas Eve, he'll be scratching his head looking at some instructions that look a little bit like this and trying to figure out how he's going to put all those toys together for my grandkids. And I'll just sit back in my recliner and sip a little hot chocolate. And I'll let him know that back in the day, I always started with a good detergent bath for all those unassembled shaft springs. And then I'll smile and I'll just let him know that it's not my problem anymore. Tonight, when you're up late putting those toys together, I hope these words that I share with you in the next few minutes are going to be something that will come back to your mind and they'll have spiritual significance in your life. Because I'm convinced that in the everyday things of life, of putting a toy together, that God speaks to us in powerful ways. You see, because our lives come with a label. And those 3 little words are all over it. Some assembly required.